Moments that make a difference. One busy morning, Mila was, as usual, running late. Closing the apartment door halfway through a rush, she tried to grab her keys, bag, and the remnants of her morning coffee, while her phone rang incessantly. As she drove to work, her nerves grew. At every traffic light, someone seemed to get in her way. And when an elderly woman slowly crossed the street at a pedestrian crossing, Mila honked reflexively, not out of malice, but out of habit, rushing a world that was too slow for her inner rhythm. She arrived at work, sat at her desk, and began solving other people's problems. It was one of those days when it seemed like everyone needed something, yet no one saw her. During lunch break, while trying to catch a few moments of quiet, the door quietly opened. An older woman entered, gentle, quiet, with a soft smile. Exhausted and out of patience, Mila raised her voice and said it wasn't a good time. The grandmother paused, looked at her warmly, with a gaze that felt as if she had known her all her life, and quietly said, "Mila, maybe you don't even realize how happy you already are. You just haven't stopped to look. When you're always rushing, many things slip by, and those are the very things that make life alive. Sometimes we rush after what we think is important, and the most beautiful things pass right beside us, unnoticed." She held Mila's gaze for a few more seconds, nodded gently, and quietly closed the door behind her. That day, instead of going home after work, Mila stopped by a quiet lake. She walked slowly, without a destination. For the first time, without her phone in hand. Her eyes fell on the sky. It was clear blue, gentle. She felt as if she had never truly seen it before. As she walked, she noticed a little girl smelling a flower. Eyes closed, smiling, as if she had found the whole world in that scent. Beside her stood her mother, watching lovingly, without hurry. A few steps further, two boys found $10 on the ground. They shouted joyfully and ran off to buy ice cream. Their happiness was loud, pure, sincere. At the end of the path, she saw a young woman helping an elderly lady cross the street. It was the same grandmother who had been crossing that morning when Mila honked. Her chest tightened. She realized how much she had, and how much she didn't see. Every day, she passed by joy, safety, peace, but trapped in thoughts about what she lacked. From that day on, every morning she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for. Sometimes it was her car, sometimes a roof over her head, and sometimes just the fact that someone on the street smells a flower and reminds her to slow down. Because happiness isn't somewhere out there. Happiness is here. It's just waiting for someone to notice it.